哇，一海沙林多，那就是卡拉多，你看到吗？对，我不知道，能贵能贵，没给买。
No, how much sweet mule? Sorry, sparrow.
Dreams for Charlton Street in particular and the Somerstown area is that all the people from all the communities and all the cultures come together into this beautiful market, and we're open 3, 4, 5 days a week, coming here to buy food. That's what I would really love to see.
Well, one is the market. I think it's really important to get the market back up and running and regenerate the area, because a lot of people don't even know Somerstown's here, considering we're right next to King's Cross and Euston Station, St Pancras.
With the good-looking haircut, smiling, and I don't know ugly people around there. That's what I want. And free parking for everyone. You know, I don't know traffic orders around here. How's that?
As you came in, there was Churchway and very, very busy market. There was a lovely Italian ice cream, sweets and newsagents, a fish shop where you picked up pairs of kippers, and there was a Sainsbury's on the corner where you're full of eggs in front and you put your eggs in a basket and then bought them. You go down the town, you stop outside the Push Wenigers, it was called. They were Germans and they were chased a lot. Well, I hope it will become back perhaps as busy as it was. But the last time I went there, which was some years ago, it was dead. The shops were all closed. Well, I suppose more of what I would like Camden Town to go back to its old shops, rather than all the big supermarkets and things.
I want to see Somerstown preserved because I'm very worried about HS2 coming through here, and it really shouldn't, because this is an important community.
I would love to see Somerstown like it used to be. Places where elderly people used to be able to go, have their lunch, meet, and wish to return again. Instead of a lot of them being left on their own, they finished up going into old people's homes, residential homes.
Having thought about this for many years, I think really Somerstown should become one giant off-licence. Thank you. Bloody Martin Scorsese doesn't have this problem, you know.
With all the work going on in Somerstown in the next 10 years, I'm hoping they're going to employ the youths, because they need help, because there's nothing for the youths in Somerstown, which is a big disappointment. With all the projects like the crick, now we've got the lottery fund going up. Hopefully we can get them back into work with their own ideas for the community. They're like stalls on the market, open a shop.
Hopefully there'll be more local housing, more affordable housing for local people, and more places like this community centre. That's wonderful.
My wishes for the next few years are that people leave our trees alone to grow, so we have plenty of greenery in what is otherwise, or what could be otherwise, a very grey area. And that's it.
I would like to see more fun in Summertown, to put more money, more fun, and to see the tourists as well, and a community, and more garden.
More activities for the children.
More primary schools and
childcare.
I want toys to be free.
This is one of my local aunties. She'd like to send a message to Somerstown. She's going to tell you in Bengali. Auntie would like to see the security in the area tightened more and much cleaner community.
Yeah, the best thing that can support this community at this time is more money being put into the community projects from the Crick Centre, rather than just the paint and decoration that's going on. So more money into the community, please, Crick Centre.
What would you like?
I wish I had lots of things for summers.
I'd like to see much more recycling taking place here. I'd also like to see more policing, definitely, without a doubt. And activities like this would be brilliant.
Yeah, and that's it basically. Improvement.
Hello.
How you used to be taught.
My hopes for Somerstown is that there'll be more flats for young people to live, so that the young children grown in the area don't have to move away as soon as they start work and want to leave home.
Stop HS2 and then...
My wish is for Somerstown. I want it to be as vibrant as it is now, but I would like people to take ownership, run the market, do things for themselves.
What, for the place?
Yeah.
Well, that it just carries on being a kind of cohesive community and everyone has a good time.
I mean, HS2 should not come to Euston. I don't see any reason why. Somerstown should be more or less demolished just so that they can build an irrelevant rail link to Birmingham. Why should we put up with 10 or 15 years of high intensity development when we get nothing out of it?
Since 1962, we've not really had more than about 5 or 6 years without building going on within the area. I think it's time that we put the health of the people in Somerstown before all the money that might be made for the HS2.
It will kill everything, businesses for lots. It'll kill my job as well. It'll be worse for me because I've got to clean it all up. And I won't like that.
We're closing basically because the area has become run down and there's no people here anymore to come and do the shopping. There's nothing like, there's no offices left here anymore, it's all hotels, and the hotels don't bring any money to the market. That's why we're going. Everything up there is a hotel now. And people in our hotels aren't going to come here and buy cans of drink, are they? Or like tins of soup or tins of sardines or whatever. You know, and that's the reason why.
Well, if you ever look at him, he's the advert for St Mungo's. You know, St Mungo's are homeless.
Yeah. Because that's where Mick's living at the moment, in one of their hostels.
I live in a hostel, man.
Chucked him out. Can't find him a home.
I'm paying £250 a week rent to live in a hostel. No, I would love to have sheltered accommodation, but there's plenty of sheltered accommodation empty, 6 of them,
empty for 6 months.
In Cooper's Lane.
Yeah. In Monica Shaw.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I could do with one.
Yeah.
There's a part by plot 10. There was a stabbing going on not far from there. Someone got killed over a £10 draw. Like £10 of cannabis, someone got killed over that, and it was outside the children's park. There's not so much things for kids to do these days because it's mainly drug dealing and things like that, crime, breaking in, burglaries and things like that. The centre is going to get shut down for the youth in the next few years, so it's going to actually be a lot worse.
I hope that they should build a couple more youth clubs around here young people could go to instead of being on the streets.
I've been in Somerstown for 21 years. I'm from Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo. So I'm the chairwoman of Congolese Women in Action. So I'm promoting education for young kids and identity. So we want our kids also to learn how to speak Lingala. So that's what we do. We support for young people as well.
Roger Robinson. I've been here for some years, and I'm very much involved in the regeneration of Somerstown, making it a much nicer place to live and work. We're trying to make this market we're in now a 3-day-a-week market and improve it enormously. We want to bring jobs to the area.
Somerstown, with all the new development and stuff that's being built around us, we hope us local people will have a better chance of employment, because half of us locals don't know the half of what's going on and we're seeing too much around. We'd like more community housing as well, because a lot of us are overcrowded within our accommodation. We'd like more stalls. We'd like to be able to bring our talents out from our homes.
Well, my kids are now 8 and 5, and the best thing about living in Somerstown for me was that it was considered a deprived area, so we got funding from something called Sure Start, and that meant that various nurseries and community halls were opened up for parents, and you had someone there who knew about kids, and you'd go for a cup of tea and meet your neighbours and break down that kind of isolation that you get in London of just living in your own place. And I really like that. That's why we're having a stall at this festival, is that we like community, and I'd wish for more things like that, for less of this competitive, private, I can only get ahead by elbowing everybody else in the face.
Some of my hopes are that it doesn't get spoiled in the future by all the new speculation, for the chain stores to stay away and for all the nice quirky little initiatives that we can have in Somerstown. I'd like there to be more public spaces, more housing, council housing and subsidised housing, so it doesn't squeeze out the people who live here now. Or
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's been a really good experience for me and for my colleagues as well. To be able to not just stay on the other side of St. Pancras, but to be able to have influences, positive influences here, and maybe not just send gentrification, but send money and new new prototypes of community living. Even if the community is really strong, I think that the council should watch more here instead of just focusing on King's Cross side.
Having seen the Somerstown film, you do realise how much things have changed. We're less of a kind of community-minded people than once we were. And I think if we could recapture some of the spirit of the people in the film, we'd have done a very good day's work.
For more affordable housing like we used to have when you had council housing that wasn't then sold off and ends up with absentee landlords that's there for local people at a price they can afford. So at the moment they haven't got it.
singing after school.
I don't know. It's usually up at 12:32.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it really needs to have stretched all the way along, wouldn't it? So another 20 or whatever, right to the end to make it more meaningful. Do you not think?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Do you
Yeah.
not think?
I mean, like say free toys or whatever.
Or good-looking people and good haircuts from the barber. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, that's jesting, isn't it? You would say something like people think you need a full range of people, don't you? You don't need this
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You know, let's just say it could have been great, and it's been cut down to size, and it's all the work that
been
went
neutered,
into,
hasn't it?
yeah, and all the work that actually went into it has been negated in many ways by them censoring what people have said, none of which was particularly political or controversial. It's just what people thought, you know. What is controversial and political is the politics that actually got them these buildings in the first place, not the exhibition.
My wish for Somerstown is for all the voices of Somerstown to be heard.
Lovely place where you can just sit and chill out. Where's it going to be? It's a community investment programme. So they're taking away the open spaces and packing in as many flats as possible. And believe you me, by Brill Place, because the creek's already up, they can build a 10-storey block. Right, there's nothing for you to get them back into it. Well, we all know 16 to 18 are being propounded by the government to try and get work with sub-zero contract at minimum living wage. So there's going to be a generation that won't be able to go into full-time employment. These are going to be undercut. I mean, women with children who are working, who has to put the child in nursery, has to pay £75 a week per child. My wishes is to wave my magic wand and make people see sense.
What? And slides, monkey bars. In Oakshott Court, I've been here 8 years. I wish people wouldn't drug deal in this particular area. They probably do crack cocaine or marijuana. I think I'm meant to be talking to the camera, not you.
My wish is to take away more gangs, and because like there's more people getting killed, not fair, because like other people want to live their lives, achieve their dreams. So yeah, like when people get killed, their families cry to death. So I don't really like listening to people cry really. Well, we were having a party and a group of a gang just came and attacking my uncle. A group of around 13 to 14-year-olds dashing a bottle out my uncle's face, and his eye was popped and he had to have stitches in his face.
One good thing about Somers Town is it's got quite a village atmosphere. We didn't used to have these great tall buildings. Now we've got the brick and
The crick actually feels a bit oppressive when you go past it, you know. Never noticed it before, but it does actually feel a bit, you know, it's a bit of old London, but unfortunately it is getting a little gentrified and losing its character, I think, in the process. The families that lived here have now sold up to God knows who, and we've got students underneath us, students alongside us. There's no problem at all, but they're not neighbours, if you say, not people you can get to know, or because they're transitory. It doesn't make for community. To my mind, Mrs. Thatcher's right to buy was the most disastrous thing that ever happened to London. I think my one wish for the area is that the government would abandon its ridiculous plans for HS2 and spend that money on public housing, and there's a desperate need for it. And I mean, today we've heard that they're going to build 100,000 homes with 20% discounts. We don't need this kind of housing. We need public housing for rent at a reasonable amount, you know, that can be passed on to the next generation, not to be sold on to somebody else to go into the private market. That will be my wish.
Now, you get well again, perfect health, I wouldn't get that. Not now. I've got prostate cancer, I'm not ashamed to tell you. And they give me treatment. I knew there was something wrong, you know, the kidneys were just, you know, I couldn't eat. And the wife had a hysterectomy, never told them, because when she was too ill to climb 4 flights of stairs, you know, couldn't manage 4 flights of stairs, I went to the council and complained, they came out. So we got a flat after all those years, we've been here. You can honestly say I'm not one for moving. You know, I like it here. I like it. We get nothing but letters in here, do we want to move out, you know? From agents. I mean, all they want is to make a bomb out of it. That's no good to help people. Not much help to us, is it? When they do HS2, and let's face it, it's going so, they're going to park all the lorries in Charlton Street and Old Thornton Street so they can take the rubble away from Euston. They don't give a damn. But I can't imagine, it won't affect me here. It's 20 years, I shan't be here.
Sorry.
More buzz into it. We want this market open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because the Crick Institute's opening, Google's opening, and this is the natural mecca. This is the place for these people to come and shop. I've just seen £1 a metre cotton, beautiful cotton fabric over here. He's been on that store for 10 years. He says business has been a bit slow. We're going to speed it up. 3 cheers for hooray! Hip hip hooray!
Yeah. Do you know where the name comes from? Coffee. First time they got coffee from Ethiopia, which the countryside called Kaffa. So since then they start calling it coffee.
Well, do you know there are 2 brilliant things about this store? The first is the coffee, which is fantastic, and the second is her headdress. Oh yeah. Beautiful.
And the smell. Isn't that fun? Beautiful. Lovely.
Whoa. Get stoned on that.
And my wish for Somerstown is that this market again becomes a thriving place, because it once was an amazing market, and what I'd love is to see full employment here them doing really good business on them stalls and making a living and keeping their sons and daughters in the community so they also have a future. And today I was just talking to CJ. He had an interview yesterday that we'd arranged for him. He was successful. He's been called into work tomorrow. Isn't that fantastic? That brings me into work every day.
It has to be helping local people get local jobs. There's such a lot of opportunity in central London, in this area, and we need to make sure everyone who lives here has a part of that opportunity. Too many people are excluded at the moment.
I only come here to do the market, and I'm afraid to say that's it. It's a lovely area. I've seen the area when I first come here 35 years ago. The market itself has got worse, obviously, because there's no traders down here until today, of course. The Magic Wander's been waived and a lot of traders have turned up. But me being an old stick in the mud, an old misery as they say, I'm afraid to say I can't see it happening. But it might do, and hopefully when this goes on your camera, they can look back at this in about 100 years' time and say, he looked a lovely chappy that man on the market. And he was. My wish, what for? Charles Street Market, I hope it improves. Because the traders who have been here all these years have stuck by this market. And I think somehow they deserve a bit of gratuity in hopefully bringing more people to the place and making it a better market for both the traders and the customers themselves. But I'm not going to hold my breath.
Sorry.